United States Supreme Court once again turning the arc of justice away from equality and back to the early 20th century.
Affirmative action in admissions has been a powerful tool towards progress, a tool that the Supreme Court decided to demolish in what Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson called a tragedy for us all.
This is a tragedy. If you care about inclusion and equal opportunity and you care about folks who don't have much and trying to make it today, this is a tragedy.
Trying to help mediocre white students who feel outcompeted and blame black students for, quote unquote, taking their spots.
You know what affirmative action led to? It led to the decimation of the Ivy Leagues, where they now have to change dramatically their testing, the way they test and the way they grade students in order to make it work. That's why this is so bad. And now extrapolate that out to all of society when we do this everywhere. This is why this has to end, and it is ending. We're ending all kinds of discrimination and the toxicity that it brings. It's the end of pretending that this is a racist country as well, the end of a Democrat Party grift that has decimated the soul of this country for far too long. So many different things are collapsing at the same time, and it's all moving us in the right direction and away from a very bad couple of decades. Several decades that we have seen because of this. The next step is helping black voters to see the light in this country and pulling them away from a very corrosive Democrat Party that hoards their vote, that controls them with so many manipulations and gives them absolutely nothing in return. That's the next step of this. In our inner cities for far too long, lying, race-baiting Democrat politicians have traded black Americans food stamps and subsidized rent for their souls. That also will end now as well. All right, Harmeet Dhillon, the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights at DOJ, played a key role in this case. Her law group filed the amicus brief in the Supreme Court, and she joins us now. Harmeet, good to see you. It's a huge day. Just want to get your initial reaction.
Well, first I want to say we partnered up with the Solicitor General's office, and I was privileged to sit through one of the most incredible legal arguments that I've seen in my career. The SG's office did a great job in carrying this across the finish line, and the arguments that we made in our brief at the Department of Justice are the main arguments that are used in Justice Alito's opinion here in this important landmark case. And so let me tell your viewers a little bit about what happened here. Louisiana has been in this long nightmare of getting sued again and again by both sides in this situation. After the 2020 redistricting, they drew maps that, as per normal, kind of protected, incumbents in their seats. That's pretty common. That's allowed. And they got sued by the NAACP over that. And so they drew a new set of maps with two majority black districts in them. And one of those districts, the one at issue here, is like meandering across the entire map of the state, which is kind of crazy. Then there was a challenge brought to that. And so they got sued again in federal court, saying that the use of race and that line drawing was illegal. And that's what the United States Supreme Court held today in a 6-3 opinion. And this is really important because you're going to see a lot of fake news out there about how this is terrible for minorities. What it is recognizing that in 2026 in the United States, the reasons to use race for line drawing deliberately that occurred to remedy discrimination in the South 50 years ago no longer exist in America. People vote not according to race anymore, but according to a number of different factors. And the only circumstances in which under the Voting Rights Act, the courts are going to step in and say that a particular district is illegal is if race was deliberately used to discriminate. And that's not the case.
And we, for a very long time to make up for the sins of the past and the discrimination of the past in this country, we have now allowed, for decades now, we've allowed discrimination against, I think, the majority, against white people in this country, which is where the lawsuit came from, and those are the ones who fought this thing and won. That is ending now, and this is just the latest case of it. We saw the same with the college admissions case as well. It's like a shift that we're seeing in race in this country, where you can no longer, you can't be discriminatory towards any group, which is the way the Constitution is written. We're going back to that.
You're so right, and it's incredible to be sitting here at this Civil Rights Division at this particular crossroads in time where our government is systematically dismantling the edifices of racism of the past. And our country should be really proud of the fact that we have overcome these historical challenges. We have fixed the problems, and we have tools in place if those problems reoccur. But we have to acknowledge the reality that today, having this sort of race-conscious line drawing is really antithetical to our Constitution and to our values as a nation. And, whether it's in employment, in education, in this racist line drawing in government contracts, we're systematically putting an end to that. And I'm really proud and excited to work with all my colleagues here at the DOJ to do that.
You guys did a great job. Harmeet, it's good to see you as always. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
You know, everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. Turn to us, and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmitt Tonight on Newsmax.